I'm going to say what's on my mind at that time. If everybody was a yes man, where would we be at in this world? You know
exactly.
what I mean? So
I like it.
Got to have your own opinion.
Welcome everybody to another edition of One Lap, One Beer at your favorite racetrack of all time. I'm with Jonathan Davenport at his favorite racetrack, Knoxville Raceway. Of course, I got my Busch Latte from Boom Briggs. He's like the
official sponsor.
He is the official sponsor. So you're not drinking beer, which is okay. You're more what, a Crown guy?
Yeah, I'm drinking Crown this weekend.
All right, so we're gonna go on this big half mile. I'm just gonna say, Billy Moyer, he went around this thing with me last year. I think we'll be good to go.
I think we might can make it. As long as we get a halfway break, we might have to get another drink.
All right, perfect. So obviously you broke the internet last night with you saying this place is a dump. What did you mean by this? You can set it straight to the people. They're obviously maybe want more context, or did you really mean this place is a dump?
Is this the only reason you had me on here, to up your ratings, where everybody would know what I really meant?
No.
Okay, I'll see how this is being played out.
No.
Man,
I feel like we talked about it last year, even after you won. You're just like, this is a track I could just never get comfortable in.
Yeah, I just don't like it. I mean,
tell them what you said about the girl, high school girl.
Oh, well, just because she's the prettiest girl in high school don't mean I have to like her.
Exactly.
I mean, everybody's got their opinions. So, I don't know. Then last night, it was just the heat of the moment. I probably shouldn't call it a dump, but, I mean, that's just how I really feel. I'm just me. I'm going to say it how I think it, and that's how it comes out. But it just had a really good car and just circumstances. I mean, people can say I stepped on my dick or whatever. Yeah, and I may have. I mean, obviously I was one driving the car, but just circumstances of the racetrack tears up a lot of equipment here. From just how this place races, to how narrow it is, to how fast it is, and inverts. I mean, it just keeps on going and going and going. I could talk all night about it, but I just ain't never been a fan of this place, and wasn't really ever planning on coming back. But I came here last year because we was having such a good year.
Right.
And I thought if I was ever going to win it, it would be last year. So, and then obviously the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series come up with a format for the new championship. Yep. And then they got it at Eldora. So that's the reason I'm back here, and the only reason.
Okay, so we set the record straight. I'm sorry if I caught you off guard, JD. You're not mad at me, are you?
No, I ain't mad at you. No, not at all.
Complain at Rigsby.
Yeah, I ain't gonna complain. Like I said,
or not complain, but you can send the request if you're mad.
That'll be fine. I ain't mad. Like everybody gets mad if I, say something wrong, but it might not be the popular opinion.
It didn't affect the fans coming to see you tonight.
No,
I feel like you just won the World 100. I mean, you have great fans.
I've got great fans. I really do, and I think the world of all of them, and I try to make as much time as I can with them. But they probably like me because I'm me. I'm going to say what's on my mind at that time. If everybody was a yes man, where would we be at in this world? You
exactly.
know what I mean?
So I like it.
Got to have your own opinion.
All right, yeah. I was going to say, last year, though, you had that rally with Tyler Bruning. It was like one of the few crown jewels you had left on your, on your check box. Just take us through that 1 year ago when you got that win there. That was a pretty good win.
Sure was. It was a different Knoxville. It was during the day, so it was cut to 50 laps. But we was afraid that it was going to rubber the whole time we was there, but it never did. And finally, at the end, I found the top, and it got cleaned off a little bit. And I was up there, and I got by Earl. It took me forever to get by Earl, and that's when I found the top, because I wasn't just going to ride in line, and because we wasn't running for points at that time.
Right.
So I was just there to win. So we found the top there, and then I run Tyler down with 5 or 6 to go, and it just all worked out for us there.
How's the ranch going?
Shit, I guess it's all right. I ain't ever there.
Yeah, that is true. That's part of the racing, traveling all the time.
It is. I've been gone so much this year. I hate it for Rachel and Blaine, but they do an awesome job. I can't say enough for Rachel and how much she does for me, and for just taking care of everything there. Like this week, we've had a pretty bad week. My dad's been sick, so I've been dealing with that. We had a cow have a miscarriage, so she's there taking care of that. Our cat, Blaine's cat, it's not doing well. It's at the vet. We may have to put it down. So it's been a hell of a week, and I'm not there, but she's a strong woman.
Well, sorry to hear all that. Obviously,
Guys.
I love Blaine and Rachel. I can't believe how big Blaine is, just tall, and how old he is.
No, I know. He's definitely a big boy. He's playing football and baseball. He had a baseball game tonight. He had a football game 2 nights ago. So
He's
it's
busier than you.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he gets Friday nights off. That's about the only night. He has football practice, baseball practice, and then games on the weekend. But Friday nights he has off.
So we had the podcast, the Dirt Reporters, a couple weeks ago after Dale McDowell won the Topless 100, and how he's like 55, 56, and he's winning crown jewels. Like, you could arguably say this is the best year of his career. So we're kind of asking, like, what high 30s, low 40s could be doing what he's doing. Your name came up, and I don't know. There's just like, can you see yourself racing when you're like 49, 50? I know it's 10 years from now, but I feel like you're a guy that at any point could just be like, hey, you know what, this just isn't for me. I just want to retire my own terms. What is Jonathan Davenport thinking in like 10 years? I'm very curious about your answer.
What gives you that idea? I want to know your answer why you think I'm like that.
I think because you have been so successful, you've created a life outside of racing that if you ever wanted to, hang it up, that you can, because you've, built something outside of it. I think a lot of guys stay in the sport too long because they really don't have anything else going on for them.
That's fair. And I think you're exactly right. I love the sport, but it takes a toll on you for sure. And I'm in those guys that has been running up and down the road running a series for 20 years, 25 years. I think of Francis. I think of Earl Pearson Jr., Mark Richards for one. I have no idea how he does it, but he's still hanging right in there, and he's got good people around him for sure. But yeah, I don't necessarily want to be racing when I'm 55. Maybe I've changed my mind in a few years, but I'm definitely going to slow down. I think I'm better when I do slow down and I concentrate on going to an event to win instead of having to show up to another track because it's on the schedule. Like, everything gets so numbed out. Like, we're at Knoxville. We're here for $50,000 to win. I think it's 50,000.
Yep, 50.
See, I don't even know, because I don't come here just to win this race. I'm here on the Lucas Oil schedule. Mm-hmm. So we got to go to Brownstown next week. We just don't get any time off running a series, and that's no hit towards any of the national series.
Right.
But for me, for where I'm at in my life, my family being gone all the time, I just would really rather pick my battles and go to the places that I want to race at.
So we're gonna have a few questions right here of just the state of dirt late model racing. Where do you think it's at right now? I feel like personally, maybe good or bad, when I started, in 2012, it's like way more competitive. It's way more, it obviously should be serious, but I feel like there's way more like I don't know how to describe it, like everybody's gets upset quicker. I don't know, do you feel like that? Just because there's just so much money and stuff on the line, these things are expensive. Just, I feel like it's a little different than it was 10 years ago.
Well, sure it is. And I mean, the social media part, and everybody knows so much information so quickly now. I think that's part of it. But as far as the sport, I think it's in a great place. Like, we're coming up where they replaced the guardrail where I hit it last night. Look at that, it's real fresh. I might ought to sign it.
Yeah,
so anyway,
yeah.
but no, I think the sport is in a really, really good place right now. Obviously, we have tons of fans coming, new fans. I talk to a lot of new fans.
Yeah.
And that's really good. I talk to a lot of old fans too, but everything's in the correct place, I believe, to move forward. We got great young talent that's moving up. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think our sport is in a good place.
What about when you have somebody that argues like, oh, well, the local racing's dying, like those the K Wingers of the world, Kevin Weavers of the world, they can't, keep up with these guys anymore. What do you like? What would be your response to, like, when people say that kind of thing?
The only thing that I can say about that is it's really just money related.
Right.
And it really is. But I feel like, this is my own opinion, I feel like if the National Series would run less races during the year and have more big events, it would give the national guys the more spotlight guys time to go back to their hometown, their home tracks, and build back up those racetracks.
Right.
You know, we're the World of Outlaws or the Lucas Oil, they're not running 50, 60 nights a year. They run 30 nights a year.
Right.
And then we have time to move over and build those back up. But on the flip side of that, as you're asking about the competitive side of it, anybody can go buy anything I have.
Right.
You can buy the same
right.
exact shocks, you can buy the same exact motor, the same exact car. It's just all personnel now.
Right. Yeah, it's just a couple interesting things. I'd like to get your perspective on that because, you know, you've been around for, what, 15, 20 years now in the dirt lane model already?
I know, I'm getting old. I used to be a young guy. Now I'm one of the old ones. Well, I'm going to say I'm kind of...
You're like the middle level.
Yeah,
because you're still in your 30s.
Class.
People forget that.
I'm barely hanging on to 30s.
I know. We have one more month and he's going to be 40. He'd be like with Rigsby, all those
Big
older
4-0,
guys.
I know it.
But, so, like, and I think it... have you feel like your driving style has changed in the last 5 to 6 years?
Absolutely. Yeah. The hell of getting up here on the top. I like to run right in the middle. I ain't never liked the bottom because I always hit something if I run the bottoms. I like kind of cruising right through the middle. But the younger guys, man, I tell you what, they're good. I mean, they just got a little bit more stamina, maybe. I don't know. You know, I try to run and, you know, try to keep half-ass in shape, but no, that just I don't know. I'm always thinking about. I don't know what he said.
Said Knoxville is awesome. I heard.
Oh well, to each their own. I'm just always thinking about the next lap. If I'm running a cushion right against the wall, if I do happen to mess up just a little bit, and I hit the right front, I know I'm going to bend a spindle. I'm going to bend a tie rod. I'm going to do something that's going to hurt me later on in the race. But man, these cars have gotten really good, and they build them to hit shit now. Barry Wright used to always tell me we don't build these things to wreck, you know. So
right.
But now, I mean, stuff's just gotten better and better, and you can do that obviously now.
Are you excited for the dirt track to be at Eldora? I mean, last week you said I'd come here every week if I could. So DTWC, one of the few crown jewels you have left. What's that? That and maybe the firecracker?
That and the firecracker.
So
yeah.
We got to get one of them off your list. But I know you're very pumped about the Big E coming up.
I really am, you know, and obviously it's changed a little bit this year. They got it a whole lot wetter for the world, and it raced great. It sure did, and you know, Hudson got up there and got it done. He just found that little bit more that I couldn't get at that time. So, but I'm really excited for it. It's going to be later on in the year. It's another month away, so obviously all the fans, you know, they loved where it was faster and everything. The only problem with that was we did have a little bit of a tire issue. So
right.
Hopefully Hoosier can fix that for us, so we don't go in there and somebody actually lose the championship because of a tire failure.
So 2015, you win the World 100. Everybody's just going bonkers. Now you win so much there. When Hudson O'Neal goes by you, they're all going bonkers for him because they're, you know, they're tired of you winning out there.
It's okay. I mean, that's all right. Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, I don't know if half of them was probably cheering because they wanted him to win. Half of them was probably cheering because they didn't want me to win. But hey, that's where I'm at. I'm fortunate enough to be there and win a couple of them. And as good as Hudson is, and as young as he is, he's definitely going to win some more.
So, super fan, president of Jonathan Davenport Fan Club, John from Wisconsin. He wants to know, what are your 5 favorite racetracks? What are ones that are not dumpy?
Me and you done talked about this.
I know, but I guess we had a, you know, I did forget. Oh, yeah, we did that.
Yeah,
so,
we did.
So I think it's what, Eldora?
So Eldora.
Cedar Lake.
Charlotte. I know I'm going to miss one. I'm going to say Magnolia when it's good. Magnolia can be good. It can be a dump too.
I think we said I-80, but obviously it's...
Well, does it count anymore?
No, so we have to go, but that one was awesome
well,
too.
I'm going to have to throw another one in there then since I-80's out. I ain't raced there much, but Deer Creek races really well.
Yeah,
I really like that place. So that's about 5 there.
My 5 is no order: Eldora, Knoxville. Sorry,
That's all right. Hey.
Fairbury, Volusia. I love Volusia,
Man.
and I know you're not
That's
a big
another
fan of it.
But hey, that's all right.
And Charlotte, I love Charlotte too.
Yeah, see? I mean, if we all loved the same things,
then it'd be boring.
Love the same tracks.
It'd be boring.
Yeah, it wouldn't be worth a shit. So, you know, that we would all show up to these 5 tracks that we all love, and then the other ones wouldn't have no people. So if everybody has different opinions, that's the reason there's more asses in the stands.
So last season, domination, $2 million, win the Eldora million. When you see guys like, you know, Ricky Thornton Jr. and Bobby Pierce, just describe their season, because they're on top, and every time they unload, you've been on the top of it a few seasons. You know, when we have to ride that wave, you got to ride that wave, and they're doing a very good job this year.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's confidence. You know, when you roll into a place and you know you're the man to beat, you can hold your head up a little higher and poke your chest out a little more. But it seems, and just on the flip side of that, just like if everything's going against you, it seems like you can't never get over that peak because you draw a bad number, you miss qualifying just a little bit, and that puts you back in a heat race, and it makes it hard to pass. You get the wrong line on a restart. But hey, when it's going your way, it's going your way.
What was the first thing you bought after your million win? Or did you just put it up in the bank? Here you go, Blaine. In a few years, you can have some of it. Or what? You had to buy something cool. Probably, did you buy a calf or anything? Or
no, I don't know. I don't think that I really went out and made any big purchase. Really, I had to go buy some stuff because Uncle Joe was gonna come get half of it or whatever. I didn't. So I tried to be as smart as I can with my money, and like you said, I'm trying to make a life after racing. So I invest in something that I think has a little bit of return.
All right, last question is, thank you for this nice half-mile chat. It's been great. You have to say one good thing about Knoxville Speedway or Raceway.
One good thing about Knoxville Speedway.
Raceway. We gotta
get Raceway, right. Whatever. It's an awesome facility. Like I just don't like it because I've had so many bad memories here. But I mean, look around. I mean, this is an awesome facility. It really is. Do I think they could do a little bit different with the racetrack to make the racing better? Yes, but they ain't gonna listen to me. So, but in all, it's an awesome facility. It races good for some people. Like if you're racing up in the top 3 or 4, 5, it races good.
Right.
Once you get in the back, it's like going down the interstate, and you got to pick the slow lane or the fast lane. Well, and then you pick the slow lane for a little bit, and then whenever like you get to choose again, you go to the fast lane. It's like it just changes. You can't. It's hard to run through the middle. It's really got to slow down to run through the middle. So I don't know. I really don't enjoy it, but I'm here and trying to make the best of it.
Well, I know you enjoyed this one lap, one beer.
Absolutely. I always enjoy anything with you, D-Suave, and I appreciate you bringing me back on, even though it's just to help your views a little bit for Expo.
Well, oh yeah, for sure. Well, one lap, one beer. He had one lap, one crown here at Knoxville Raceway. Jonathan Davenport going for his second Knoxville Nationals title tomorrow night.